Think of a time when everything seems imaginary. Giants that dwarfed buildings. Oddities that stunned the world. And carnivores that ruled like kings. This is the imagination of a time long past. In some areas of Asia, the weather is much more sustainable, allowing for the perfect climate for forests to grow. Some of the tallest trees grow here in Central Asia. The Monera tree is the tallest tropical tree ever found. It can grow to be nearly 330 feet tall. While the Monera tree is too large for most animals to topple, there is one animal that has made a profession out of clearing its own path. These are Nemegtosaurus. They're 42 feet long, pushing up against trees using their 40-ton weight. A single Nemegtosaurus can topple 20 trees a day. If a herd comes through, the forest begins to look a lot more like this. This kind of open forest allows for the herd to move effortlessly without the problem of getting crammed. Yet the herd is not the only creature that can benefit from the open canopy. Homalocephali tend to follow the sauropods when they clear the dense forest. Light barely touches the ground with the canopy being so thick, but with the trees being knocked down, the forest floor can thrive, allowing the little Homalocephali a nutritious leafy meal. Late at night, a majority of forest dwellers sleep after a long day. However, some animals decide to finally wake up once nighttime takes hold. These gallimimus move in flocks of 15 or more. After a long day of resting in the shade, they're more active at night thanks to the cover of the darkness. Not having to contest for food with other herbivores, the flock isn't usually on high alert. But not being cautious at night can be very dangerous. An adult Therizinosaurus. It's massive, being almost 30 feet tall and weighing 5 tons. Its claws are 3 feet in length, making them the largest claws to have ever existed. While the Therizinosaur's claws can be used for defense, their main purpose is for something quite different. The claws serve the purpose of collecting vegetation. While the claws rake in the food, the long neck reaches down to eat the food. This allows for little effort and makes for an easy meal. The gallimimus offer no threat to it, but that's not to say it still isn't a threat to the flock. However, luckily for the flock, this herbivore is a bit too tired to acknowledge them. Further north in Russia, it is the mating season, and dinosaurs of all kinds are getting ready for courtship. These hadrosaurs have migrated here in the hopes of having a sustaining breeding ground. But there's a problem. After some recent storms, this small open prairie has become flooded. The current hadrosaurs, Coronosaurus and Amurasaurus, are forced to remain on the tree line as they wait for the water to disappear. With each day that passes by, available time for nesting grows shorter and shorter. If the water doesn't leave in time, they may be forced to go elsewhere. In other areas, this flower field is a prime place for insects to thrive, yet once a year it is visited by much larger residents. The elegant Allura Titan. Birds from all around gather here to nest. With the field being full of diverse plants, it's a perfect place for future hatchlings to grow up. During summer here, the sun doesn't set for weeks. This allows for plants to grow much faster. Horsetails rapidly grow and soon take up a majority of the ground. This is the main food that the Allura Titan will feed on. Surrounding the nesting ground, the forest will serve as protection from any harsh weather and will provide cover for the newborns. Soon enough, this field will be filled with the plentiful calls of the next generation. Forests are one of the world's most important environments. Not only do they help supply us with oxygen, but they are also pivotal lifelines to all creatures. the world has its challenges. Some animals adapt to cope with such challenges, and others will simply shape it to their benefit. If the forest were to disappear, many of these strange and amazing creatures would surely be gone forever. Next time, we will see a world that has become isolated for millennia, producing unique and wonderful behaviors unlike anything seen before.